Columbia University students reacted to their college ranking worst for free speech on campus. We're going to dig into that in just 1 second, you guys. Welcome back to my not-so-new in-studio segment. If you're enjoying this new segment, please let me know down in the comment section below. And before we get started, this video is brought to you by jamesklug.com. If you want to support my videos and help me make more of them, head on over to jamesklug.com/members and please consider becoming a monthly member today for as little as 1 cup of coffee per month. That directly combats the demonetization that this channel faces and helps us create more content for you guys. That's jamesklug.com/members. Become a monthly member today, or at least consider it. And let's jump into this video, you guys. Before we jump into the video, though, we're going to talk about the study that it's referring to. This was released September 7th, 2020 from FIRE. And it says the 2020 to 2023 college free speech rankings. Now, we're not going to dig through the whole thing, but we will just talk about a few things surrounding it. If you guys want to dig deeper into this, hit the link down in the description below. But we have 63% of students fear reputational damage if they speak their minds. Off limits, majorities say campus speakers with non-liberal viewpoints not to be allowed on campus. This is becoming increasingly more common on college campuses. A little bit of information about the survey. The largest survey on student free speech expression ever conducted adds 45,000 student voices to the national conversation about free speech on college campuses and finds that many are afraid to speak out on their campus. Many others want to silence the voices of those who don't share their viewpoints, creating campus echo chambers. Keep in mind, it's not just college students that want to silence their opposition. It's the professors at these schools as well. Today, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression, or FIRE, in partnership with College Polls, released the 3rd annual college free speech rankings, ranking the speech climates of 203 of America's largest and most prestigious campuses in order from top to bottom. So, at the top, coming in 2nd place, we have Kansas State University. In 1st place, we have University of Chicago. Now, I'm not sure how impressive that is for a college campus to be ranking top in free speech. I'm not sure if that even means that much, okay? Because it really doesn't. But we're not talking about that in this video. We're talking about the worst. So 2nd to last, we have University of Pennsylvania, and the very worst college for free speech is Columbia University. Now, Fox News went out and interviewed students at Columbia University, asking them their thoughts about their campus, their school, ranking last for free speech on campus. First of all, hilarious and just genius idea for a video. It's a great video idea. I might even steal it. But second, we're going to check out what they had to say. Now, I'm not going to play the whole video because I don't feel like getting a copyright from Fox News, but we'll dig into a couple segments of it.
I don't think that I've personally experienced or witnessed suppression of free speech at Columbia.
You think that this is a Ivy League institution that we'd want students to talk more and be open with their beliefs? So I don't know. This is not really something that I would have thought.
I think everyone here is very open-minded, and so I'm not really sure where that's coming from.
I have no clue where this is coming from. We're so open-minded and tolerant. Chances are, if you're not seeing it, it's because you agree with that groupthink that's oppressing the opposition on campus. Chances are. So we have multiple people saying, I think everyone here is open-minded. We have people saying, I'm surprised by that result. I don't think that I've personally experienced or witnessed the suppression of free speech at Columbia. Right. If I had to guess, it's because you lean left. You don't say something that the mob is going to be outraged by. It's interesting about this question because if you're talking to people, students, but just people in general about free speech, if I were to go out and do this video, this is a conservative thing to be concerned about in 2022. Free speech and preserving your right to free speech is a conservative issue. Democrats don't ask about this. They don't care about this. They don't want your They don't want all speech protected, especially speech that they do not like. And we'll dig into that in just here in a minute. Yeah, the craziest thing about this is you're basically saying, hey, you guys are really bad at tolerating conservatives on your campus without saying that. Because they know that liberals have absolutely no problem on campus. They know that. They know that this has to do with conservatives. They know that this has to do with being intolerant of their viewpoints. They know that. If we talk to anybody out on the street about this issue, free speech, they look at you and they say, oh, you must be defending the conservatives. All right, so in the video, they then ask what speech should not be tolerated on campus. Is there any speech that should not be tolerated on campus?
Types of speech that should be banned?
I think like hate speech.
Hate speech is unacceptable.
I think that hate speech should definitely at least be monitored.
Like hate speech, like just things that make people feel unwelcome.
Like hate speech, yeah, that's not good.
They all have the same answer. It's groupthink. What is hate speech? Hate speech is speech that you hate. That's all it is. Hate speech, what's considered hate speech now, it's hard to say 3 times fast. What's considered hate speech now is Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire going to a college campus and asking what a woman is. That's considered hate speech. Hate speech shifts. Hate speech is a tool that Democrats have been using to limit free speech, suppress opinions that they do not like. We have at the bottom right here from FIRE showing research from Columbia students. FIRE researchers found that only 27% of Columbia's students don't believe it's ever acceptable to shout down a speaker to silence them. They also reported that there are roughly 6.8 liberal students for every conservative student on campus. Guarantee some conservative students are lying when they're doing that poll. It's probably higher. It's the amount of liberals to conservatives is probably higher. But let's just repeat that really quick. FIRE researchers found that only 27% of Columbia's students don't believe it's ever acceptable to shout down a speaker to silence them. They're being taught on college campuses to silence. Don't challenge. Don't try to disprove other viewpoints, but silence them. And this really has to do with the left leaning further into authoritarianism in multiple ways. Check this out. This is a study from Pew Research Center, and this is only 1 year old. More Americans now say government should take steps to restrict false information online. We're kind of going back to the hate speech conversation. Who's deciding what's false and what's true? People. Would you prefer that a group of Democrats get to choose if a conservative or a Republican is speaking truth or lies, or vice versa? Conservatives dictating if a Democrat's speaking truth or lies? You're getting into really, really murky water here. Amid rising concerns over misinformation online, including surrounding the COVID pandemic, especially vaccines, Americans are now a bit more open to the idea of the U.S. government taking steps to restrict false information, quote unquote false. Because sure, could be false. Was the Hunter Biden laptop story false? That was suppressed. The reason why I'm pulling this up, right, it's not just to show the general idea of who's supporting government censorship or big tech censorship, but to show the party lines in which Democrats are supporting, increasingly so, censorship from the government and censorship from big tech companies. In 2018, 40% of Democrats said the U.S. government should take steps to restrict false information online, even if it limits freedom of information. Jump over to 2021, we have 65%. Republicans, on the other hand, were 37% in 2018, jumping more for free speech, going down to 28% in 2021 in favor. Tech companies should take steps to restrict false information online, even if it limits freedom of information. Democrats in 2018 were 60% in favor of that, and now they're 76% in favor of that. Republicans were 48% in favor of that in 2018. Jump over to 2021, 37% in favor. So you can see this is not just a trend happening on college campuses when it comes to controlling speech. People are getting to decide what information gets suppressed, what's considered hate speech that week versus the previous week. I did want to go back really quick to the end of this video when they're talking to students about hate speech, because we do got to shout out these two guys at the very end. They totally rock. Where everyone else is talking about hate speech and what it is and how it should be, removed from campus or not allowed on campus. Of course, nobody can define it because hate speech is speech that they hate. These guys come in at the very end. This is really great.
I think the limitations should really reflect First Amendment kind of limitations where obviously you can't, no fighting words, no...
That's right.
I don't want to say no hate speech because that's very loosely defined.
Yes!
But I think college is a place where ideas should be exchanged freely.
That's absolutely right. I'm willing to bet that is a conservative. If it's not, maybe it's a classical liberal, but a classical liberal on a college campus nowadays isn't really a thing. Definitely a conservative answer. Hilarious. Good work, man. I wanted to shout him out really quick. But you guys, we'll wrap this up because this worry about Democrats leaning deeper and deeper into, authoritarianism when it comes to controlling what other people are doing with their speech, that is not a good road to be headed down. Glenn Greenwald tweeted the other day. Glenn Greenwald, for those of you that don't know, he's actually I would consider him like a center-left independent journalist, very well respected. And he says, this is a perfect illustration of how authoritarian so many Democrats are. This Democrat doesn't know or care why career DOJ prosecutors decided the evidence was insufficient to prosecute Matt Gaetz. What he knows is that Matt Gaetz supports Trump and therefore wants him imprisoned. Ryan Cooper right here says, Chicken Crap Club, posting this article from Washington Post on Twitter saying, career prosecutors recommend no charges for Matt Gaetz in sex trafficking probe. Like Glenn Greenwald says, they decided the evidence was insufficient to prosecute him. But that doesn't matter. He likes Trump. Put him in jail. This attitude is becoming increasingly more common, and this isn't just some random Joe. Glenn goes on to say, I can't stress this enough. At its core, Democratic politics is about criminalizing opposition to their party and ideology. Dissenting ideas are disinformation, quote unquote, and must be censored by big tech. Trump voters are inherently criminal insurrectionists and should be imprisoned. Going back to this study, anybody who disagrees with me, this is what this turns into. Anybody who disagrees with me, speech that I do not like, anything that's going against the mob's narrative, we should have big tech companies restricting that information, as well as the United States government getting involved, effectively wiping out the First Amendment. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. I'll catch you guys next time.